Hi, everyone. My name is Kim. I'm the Global Brand VP for Lifebuoy Unilever.
Hello, I'm Tim Green. I'm the Chief Creative Officer for Edelman across the APAC region.
Hello, my name's Nisha. I'm the Head of Strategy and Head of Integrated Clients here in Edelman. Kim, tell us what this work really means to you at Lifebuoy.
Yeah, it's a really meaningful piece of work because at Lifebuoy, we are actually more than just a soap or more than selling soaps. Our purpose in Lifebuoy is really about, helping families fall ill a little less often. And I think this campaign works seamlessly and magically around how we can really reach out to, the underserved communities in Indonesia to enable them to, not only get access to doctors and healthcare, but more importantly, what we have found out in, sort of rural Indonesia is that besides access, which Lifebuoy provides because we are in, 7 out of 10 households in Indonesia, more than that, they have this habit of, not going to see a doctor proactively because of the historical lack of sort of access to doctors. So they normally visit a doctor only when the symptoms are pretty severe. So I think it's a great intervention where we actually educate and empower them about, about going to doctors earlier, and as well as actually giving them the access to do so via a QR code for which they scan, and they get access to our doctors at Hello Doc. So I think it's a perfect integration of what the brand stands for, the protection of health of rural Indonesians, and therefore serving a real purpose for these communities in Indonesia.
That's great, Kim. And if I can just build on that, we actually arrived at Diagnosticker by looking at the kind of complex problems, as you were alluding to, around, how a mother really helps a sick child in rural Indonesia, right? She can't get to a doctor easily. She has deeply entrenched beliefs of waiting and seeing, right? This habit
Exactly.
of I'm going to medicate with traditional medicine, or I'll give a bit of OTC, over-the-counter medicine. And she's also battling with the fact that some of the common illnesses for her children under 5, whether it's pneumonia, respiratory disease, diarrhea, it all presents with high fever, which she hasn't really been taught to detect, to understand, to figure out, right? So really that was also this complex interplay was our guiding light about what we knew. We knew Lifebuoy was in 7 out of 10 homes. And we knew that there's something magical about the packaging that we could really rethink around education, around empowering health. And I think this is a great segue, Tim, to tell us, how do we land the idea now, understanding that following the Indonesian mother and her challenges with children and battling illness, and how we came up with the campaign.
That's the beauty of it, is the simplicity, and just to be able to reimagine like something as humble as a soap pack, to just bring in something reusable and easy to use as a thermometer to detect fevers straight away is such a potent idea, because it's readily available, it's at hand, literally, and it's something that the more you use it, the more you understand. So the beauty of it is in its simplicity, having, again, like a QR code that can link you to the services of our telehealth partner, Hello Doc, was great too, because that program was already in place. But how can we make that even more potent? How do we bring the Hello Doc conversation in easier? So putting the QR code on the pack was a great way to do that as well. It just extends the idea, it makes it easier, it makes it faster. Because, really just, that mother's touch is really the first line of, understanding a child's fever. The mother's touch is the thing that, really is the way to get us to mitigate some terrible diseases, with Indonesia having one of the highest infant mortality rates in the world. That simplicity of a mother's touch, replicating that with a thermometer, a reusable thermometer at that, is such a great idea, and such a lovely way to give back to all of Indonesia.
Kim, what excites you about this work?
I think the exciting part is really about, not sort of creating something that's very sort of additional. I think it's really making use of what we have, which is really the simple pack, but turning that simple bar of soap into, the first line of defense for health. And I think this is enabled by just the integration of technology, which is amazing because it really, with this Diagnosticker initiative, we just, with the use of a simple sort of paper thermometer and a QR code, it actually turned, everyday essential into the first line of defense for health. So I think it's a great, it's innovation, but it's not innovation for the sake of innovation. It's really about embedding the potential for better health into the fabric of daily life and making proactive healthcare accessible and actionable to especially these underserved communities.
Yeah, and this point around innovation with purpose, Tim, what do you reckon was the hardest thing about designing something new like Diagnosticker?
Well, to be honest, getting something as potent as this onto such a small piece of real estate and making it reusable, actually. So like a thermometer is just a very everyday article, but to adhere it to a soap pack was a bit of fun. And we used thermostatic ink too, thermosensitive ink in fact, to be able to detect the fever. So there was actually a lot of technology that went into this to make it work, and we did a lot of R&D to make sure that it was going to be as sensitive as it should be. So that was a bit of fun. And also getting the QR code, they're ubiquitous these days, but the QR code right and in a place that could be seen. So the visual language on this was important. So the design was important. So, at a palpable moment, like with a screaming child who has a fever, you want to be able to use this without any problems at all. It has to be sort of almost self-serving in how the information comes off the pack. So getting it all together on such a small piece of real estate, making it easy to use and understandable was super important.
So a design process around the campaign wasn't just about the hardware of it, right? The design, the innovation, technology. It was also about changing the software to the early parts that Kim was saying, entrenched cultural behaviors. We could have never run this campaign without a very strong public education and engagement process with community partners like Bandung Health Polyclinic, right? Who we worked, Lifebuoy and Edelman worked really closely with to bring to life an outreach program across 12 villages in West Java. So over a course of a month, 50,000 Lifebuoy soap packs were distributed at polyclinics with the continuous engagement and education with the local social services in all the villages. We taught them early fever detection, how to watch out for symptoms of common illnesses, how the QR code worked, and how it quickly linked to an app to download, how anyone could video call a doctor as and when they needed to, anytime and anywhere, through Lifebuoy's partnership with HelloDoc. And basically, all our efforts were really to make sure that the user experience was really easy, inviting, and breaking down kind of long entrenched habits culturally. Kim, what do you think has been, at this stage, looking back now at the campaign, the biggest impact of it so far?
I think the biggest impact is that it's making a real impact. Just it's a combination. I think it's just a powerful combination of not just a tool to enable access to health, which is something so basic, and yet, something that many of these rural communities actually don't get access to, but also combining the knowledge. Because you can give them a fish, but you need to to teach them how to fish. Then you sort of get them protected, for a long time, a lifetime of a good health. I think that's something really important that Lifebuoy aims to do and will continue to do. And I think just by the knowledge of health and health prevention, together with the tool and the access to the doctors, I think it really forms a very holistic sort of approach of what Lifebuoy believes and stand for, which is to really, reduce the incidences of illness in families. So I think what excites me, and I think the biggest impact of this is making a real simple intervention, but a very important and a real one that really impact the lives of, Indonesians. That Lifebuoy really wants to outreach to.
Thank you for tuning in. As we continue to make more meaningful work like Lifebuoy Diagnosticker, we want to invite everyone to join us in transforming public healthcare. Together, we can make a difference.